Let's go, baby! Your Arizona Diamondbacks are headed to the National League Division Series. Let's go! Man, let's fucking go. Welcome in. My name is Derek Montilla. This is the PHNX D-backs podcast. I am occasionally known as the mayor of PHNX. This man is occasionally known as the man in charge of all of the electricity in the building, Mr. Electric himself, Shawn. We got the people's producer, Damon, behind the Mac. And of course, we got Mac in the house as well. We are all pumped because your Arizona Diamondbacks did the damn thing.
They really did do that damn
absolutely beat the brakes off the Brewers, taking 2 games out of 3. The third game, not even necessary. And we will talk about the implications about Merrill Kelly not needing to pitch in this series and how big that is. I didn't even think about
that yet.
That
didn't even hit me yet.
Big.
Oh, man, we are so live.
We are so live. And it's not all good. This game did not start off good. In fact, things looked fairly bleak early on for this team. Zac Gallen, of course, absolutely shoved, but he did not look good early, right? Zac Gallen came out. He started dealing, but it did take him a little while to settle in. I think the biggest thing that we need to discuss as far as negativity before we move on and just get fucking excited about this win, Gabriel Moreno did leave the game after getting hit in the head with a backswing in the second inning. We hated that.
Someone's
we literally
have to answer for it.
Let me just tell you, we had to restrain Damon. He was looking up flights for Milwaukee. Things started to get really dark really fast.
I will find whoever did that to Gabby Moreno.
Yeah.
Bryce Trang, who did it.
The attitude,
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
The attitude he had when he came out and he started questioning Shawn, and as if Shawn was hiding something from him about Gabby Moreno's injury. We don't know the extent of it. We don't know how long it's going to keep Gabby out. We do know that if Moreno is not available, that is a huge loss. And of course, much like the Jake McCarthy injury situation, we have the fact that if he does get pulled, he won't be able to play at all in the National League Division Series, which is what's going on with Jake as well. Shout out to our man Max for redeeming himself a little bit with the super chat. We love you, Max. He just said sports. And that's what I expect. I'm surprised he didn't say sports ball. But, I mean, Max, we love you and we appreciate you.
While we're on the topic of super chats, because I know we had a little bit of a confusion around Flex's super chat yesterday.
We did.
He clarified to me, Flex said he was going to increase his donation essentially by $5 each time. So for this win, it should be 10.
Yeah.
The next one would be 15 and then 20 and stuff like that.
You weren't talking about him doubling.
He's not
and
actually
quadrupling.
doubling.
Yeah,
he misspoke.
That one, that was Patrick Lyons is good math on that, figuring that out.
We should still be, I'm waiting, Flex. I'm ready.
Let's see what we got in here. We got Nate Cleveland saying, brew who? I don't know who. Did we play somebody? I don't even know. Cog says, I hope there's an update on Gabby ASAP. We do as well.
Torey is on the list.
Yes, correct.
Well, I mean, you can't just say on the list.
Yeah,
we have a lot of lists.
There's multiple lists.
I mean, it's my
list. There's not
list.
even just one sex symbol list. There's
so
multiple lists.
He's on your list.
Yeah, so.
Because if I were to say he's on the list, it means something completely different.
Derek's been talking about my list personally, though, for the entire
year.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah. That is true.
He keeps
yes, of course.
Yeah, he calls them targets, and I don't feel comfortable with that. But anyway.
They will, for him to eliminate.
Yeah. Jose Herrera did come back though, or did do the thing back there. He did everything that the Diamondbacks needed for him to do, and Zac Gallen did everything the Diamondbacks needed him to do. He did exactly what we asked of him early on, and in fact, I feel like me and this guy asked a lot of this team, and the guys that we did ask of them, they stepped up. But Gallen, like I said, he wasn't good early, and I say early because I mean very early. He just wasn't good in the first inning. He allowed a pair of singles and a walk to load the bases in the first.
Over 30 pitches.
2 runs would score. He pitched over 30 pitches. You pair that with Moreno leaving the game in the second, and things did not look good. But Gallen absolutely shut the Brewers down after that. He only allowed 2 hits and no runs over the next 5 innings, and was absolutely what we needed out of Zac Gallen. Yeah. He allowed the bullpen to not have to come in a 3rd inning or 4th inning situation. He goes 6 innings strong, gives up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. A night that I know for a fact that Zac Gallen is going to say afterwards he didn't have his best stuff.
Yeah,
but that didn't matter because his fucking good stuff was good enough to beat the Brewers, and that's where we sit right now.
Yeah. That was, first off, can I just say, I'm so happy to do this to the Brewers because someone does it to the Brewers every year. I'm happy it was us.
It was our turn. And you know, shout out to the 2011 team who we got a little redemption for, right? Yeah. Shout out to Brian.
But, yeah, funny how shit's different when you're not juicing, huh?
Yeah.
Shit goes down a lot different when you don't have someone on steroids injecting up winning baseball games.
Ryan. He's talking to you, Ryan.
But yeah, no, this I kind of forgot what you were saying before I went on that whole.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We were talking about Zac Gallen and Zac Gallen shoving.
Yeah, like I mean, we kind of talked about this before the game. We talked about the scenario in which he gave up 5 runs, and we just needed him to shut it down after there because it's Zac Gallen, and we needed length, and he did what he needed to do. Like obviously, it wasn't that great off rip, but this is the team of destiny, dog. Like you take out you drop 2 runs on our ace in the 1st inning, and you take out our catcher, and they still win. Like that's a team of destiny.
They really feel like it.
They kind of do. The other team of destinies, the Marlins, dead. They were really the only other one. The Orioles, I guess, are the only other team of destiny.
Zac Gallen did it tonight with mostly his fastball. His 4-seam fastball was the thing he was really leaning on the most. He got a couple of whiffs, 3 whiffs on the fastball, 3 whiffs on the knuckle curve, 3 whiffs on the changeup. He wasn't really fooling any guys, but at least once he got settled in, he was effective at getting outs, and really that's what the Diamondbacks needed was him to get outs, keep the ball in the ballpark, and Zac Gallen did that. He gave them absolutely enough to get this win. Shout out, I saw Flex's super chat in there. A bunch of them. Flex, let's go back to the super chats. We got Brett Johnson. Let's go Flex. Flex threw the $10 in there. Flex says, let's fucking go. The Young Guns came through. Alec Thomas got them going with the early home run, and Andrew Saalfrank shut the damn door. I keep my promises, dogs. That is a man of his word right there. We appreciate you. And we love you, Flex. Super chat from Brett Johnson. He says, I get to see playoff baseball in person for the first time since 2007. Hell yeah, you do. Hell yeah, we all do. Chris Bailey, $5 super chat, says, what a win. 2011 redemption. Beat LA. Why not us? Do it for Gabby.
Beat LA.
I fucking love it.
That's the best super chat of all time.
That's the energy.
That's pretty much my entire brain right now.
Yeah, that's Damon's mantra
Beat LA,
right now.
Why not us? Do it for Gabby.
Yeah.
That's just
2011 redemption.
Let's go. 2011 redemption
man
tour.
After Damon's heart.
Momo Murray says, $1.99 super chat says, we got revenge for 2011. Let's get 2017 revenge too. I love it. Let's just keep like knocking these teams off that have beat us in the past. I'm with it. CWP, he says the Chaos Wagon is rolling into LA.
No one circles the wagons like the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Somebody posted that with a gif of, I think it was Big Bird rolling in on a wagon, and it was just said, like in our Discord, it was incredible.
It is kind of funny though, because you look at it and like, this is not the Brewers, and now it's the Dodgers, 2 teams that notoriously can't accomplish shit in the playoffs.
Hey,
like
you're not wrong.
You want to talk about being a team of destiny? Like the path is there, dog.
Yeah,
I'm so turned.
I'm with you.
I'm so turned.
Well, I mean, one guy that we really wanted to see something from tonight was Alec Thomas.
Yes.
And man, we just wanted to see him have better at bats, but he did better than that. He hit a big solo home run that got the Diamondbacks on the board, and then they were able to bust the game open in the 6th. They did it much like they did last night to get the scoring going. You know, it started with a Perdomo walk and getting on base. Corbin Carroll getting on base. The guys just doing it. And of course, you know, they absolutely, knocked Freddie Peralta out of the game at that point.
It's funny because to pat ourselves on the back.
Let's do it.
Our pregame show, 2 days in a row now, we called out some specific people. Yesterday, and not called out, but yesterday before the game, we specifically said we wanted the young guns to step up. And who was the story? All of the young people, right?
Corbin was again today.
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin was 2 for 4 today with a double. He scored a run. Absolutely.
I mean, Evan Longoria, I think, was obviously a joke.
Oh yeah.
And then, but outside of him, obviously, it was all like the young guys. And then today, who do we ask to see something from? Alec Thomas specifically, and then something from Lourdes Gurriel, something from Tommy Pham, and they all delivered in big moments. Obviously, none quite as big as Alex's solo shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lourdes's was a bloop shot, but still.
But that inning, Lourdes bloop shot, Tommy Pham singled. Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of contributions in that inning. Jose Herrera walked. They loaded the bases. The wild pitch allowed 1 run to score.
It's like, again, the thing that makes this team special is when like when those guys are the ones doing it, right? Like, you're going to get production from Corbin and Cattell, and I hesitate to say Christian Walker because that's been iffy at times, but like, when you get Alec hitting home runs, like it was those guys. It was the guys the I don't know what you want to refer to them as, just the second line, you know?
Yeah.
Those were the ones that stepped up. And again, Alec was the head of that because he obviously went yard. But
well, it's just another example of this team finding ways to win like they did early in the season. And it didn't make sense at times. You didn't know who was going to be the one to step up. And honestly, it reminds me of times where Jesse and I had a hard time choosing who the king steak would even be, because what you had was a bunch of guys that all contributed and nobody really stood out more than the next. But really, I think the biggest thing that's most encouraging was because Alec Thomas just absolutely had some terrible at-bats yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looked hopeless.
For him today to not only he looked better in his at-bats, he had better results with the home run. And I mean, again, he is one of those guys that we have talked about struggling at the plate, but needing him in there due to his defense, no matter how bad he's doing offensively. And tonight he came through for this team.
And it's so huge for him to do this now because, I mean, like, I don't know if it was nerves in game 1, first playoff appearance, whatever, but like, he had a good game today. And like I always say, these are the kinds of guys that like end up being NLCS MVP.
Yeah.
Because it's never the guys you expect. It's somebody that gets hot at the right time.
Right.
And Alec, I think seeing the ball go over the fence gives him some confidence. Like, I'm doing this on national TV in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if he can keep producing, like, that's going to be the difference. That's what's going to make this team impossible to beat. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously in the context of the game, it was huge, but in the context of this team trying to win a World Series, which is the goal. Like, I mean, at this point, especially now you won a series, it's like, let's go win the whole thing. Like, for him to have that confidence going into the series against the Dodgers, which is going to be obviously a hostile environment in those first 2 games, I think is huge. Side note, I'm very interested to see what the crowd looks like at the games here.
Oh,
just because, I mean, the Dodgers notoriously, obviously, kind of take over Chase Field, but those are also notoriously not playoff games.
They are, and they're usually in at times where the Diamondbacks aren't doing as well as the Dodgers.
Yeah, so
right?
I'm very interested to see.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's probably some Dodgers fans that are going to show up to that game thinking shit's sweet.
Yeah,
they're going to learn. They're going to learn. Damon's going to be there terrorizing them.
Yep, absolutely. But
nah, shit ain't sweet at all.
Shit ain't sweet at all. At all. It's not sweet at all.
They're not taking over Chase Field.
It's like when Damon says, I don't find that to be funny at all. When we had an LOL to something, he's like, that's not funny to me in the slightest bit. Cogs, our guy Cogs, one of the only people to receive a king snake that has never put on a Diamondbacks jersey. He says, let's fucking go, boys. Beat LA. Why not us? I get to see my first ever playoff game. I'm
happy for you,
Cogs. I am so happy for you.
This is the year of Cogs.
This is the year of Cogs. That really is. But it's also the year of Alec Thomas, who I know Cogs is a huge fan of. And for that reason, we are giving our king snake to the one and only young king himself, Alec Thomas, for that solo home run. Look at him.
We are all witness.
We are all witness.
To the greatness.
4th team in postseason history to overcome a multi-run deficit in their first 2 games of the postseason for victories. And for that reason, we're going to give you guys a special treat. Let's take a quick trip into the Diamondbacks clubhouse right now and see what's going on with the celebration. Damon?
I would do anything to be inside of one of these.
It's fucking fun. It's crazy. The one thing that I will say is that when you're in here, champagne burns very much.
You could see that
dude, the goggles,
the wild card clinch.
Yeah, the goggles are no joke. They are a necessary thing. And also, it's really odd to be it felt odd to be in there when it's not your achievement. Like I know as journalists, we're there to, document things and be there and film that excitement. But that was one part that was strange for me, but I loved every minute of it. And for me, one thing for me is that the first time I was in a locker room celebration, it was the Dodgers, and that sucked. That was because it felt weird because it was both an exciting experience for being in the clubhouse the first time to ever see a team celebrate.
Like kind of the only one in there that's not happy.
And it's the Dodgers. Yeah, it sucked, man. But
I love Cogs just commenting champagne like he knows anything about it, young man.
Yeah, Cogs. Is your mom in the chat? Because we want to know what your thoughts are further than that. But yes, Michael says we need to smell the champagne on Jesse from here in Arizona.
We were saying that.
We were absolutely saying
Jesse
that.
Needs to be wet.
We needed more. We want to see Jesse come in here looking absolutely soaked and disheveled right now. And if he's not, I don't think that the Diamondbacks did a good enough job.
I hope Jesse can't be on the show because he's just wasted by secondhand. Just gets soaked.
So we have more for you from the clubhouse, including Torey Lovullo's another classic Torey Lovullo post-playoff game or post-clinching, whatever situation you want to say, locker room speech. Let's get ready to be inspired.
All right. Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, this is part of the journey. We're not there yet. Let's enjoy it. Let's embrace it. Let's fucking party! And a connected team is a fucking dangerous team. We are fucking dangerous. Let's fucking party all day!
Turn me all the fucking way up. We are dangerous. We are fucking dangerous.
Fucking dangerous. Put it on a shirt. Eric, where are you? I'm texting. I'm messaging him right now.
And
I'm messaging him right now.
We are fucking dangerous.
We are fucking. My hands are so sweaty. I can't unlock my computer. I'm not joking. I'm messaging Eric right now.
I know.
We need that on a
It
fucking
doesn't take a lot to get this man excited. So
we need that on a t-shirt.
He's an excitable boy. But I will tell you guys this. We thank every single one of you for being here right now on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Whether you have been here since the very beginning of this show or you guys just found us tonight, we appreciate you guys being here, being in the chat. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss when any of our wonderful shows go live. Leave us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. We always love the attaboys. If you're listening on the audio podcasting side, please make sure to leave us a message over there or leave us a review. Subscribe over there, do all that stuff. We always appreciate that feedback. 5-star reviews, by the way.
Dude, we are fucking dangerous.
We are dangerous. And until we get that on a shirt, we have this on a shirt because this team is a motherfucking wagon. And you need to represent this wagon.
Motherfucking wagon.
Go out and get yourself the brand new wagon shirt at phnxlocker.com. Get that shirt. If you're a diehard, you get 20% off. If you're not a diehard, become one. You can get it for free or get 20% off yourself. And let's go. Let's go all the way. Also, a great way to watch all of this stuff, by the way. Get that wagon shirt, wear it, and then watch all your favorite team take on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Division Series on Fubo TV. It has 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. You can stream live TV from any device, and you can watch the most Arizona sports for the lowest price. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR storage is included at no extra charge. And of course, you can start watching immediately with a free trial. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up and start watching today. You can get all of the sports goodness that comes in this month, including basketball, football. You got hockey starting, no matter what you're looking for. U.S. Open tennis, Ryder Cup. It doesn't matter. Whatever sports you're looking for, you can find them on Fubo TV. Watch all of your favorite sports
by the way.
With Fubo. What's that?
So pour one out for the Americans.
Oh, rest in peace.
I'm not a big golf guy, so it was today that I found out that the Europeans won the Ryder Cup.
They did. But go to FuboTV.com/PHNX to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. So get down on that now. Nate Cleveland in the chat says, so glad I found you guys at the start of the season.
We're
Nate,
glad you found us.
We are so glad you found us. We're glad you're here because Nate's been an absolute gem in the chat all year long, and we appreciate it.
I feel like Patrick's calling out Flex. Flex dropped his super chat.
Yeah.
You missed it, Patrick.
Did Patrick? You missed it. Again, we're not here to make sure you guys are here on time. So like, if you're here late, you need to catch up. And I know that's not always easy. But Thunderbolt 47 said, "Got that bat shirt? Let's go, baby." Also, I know look. Thunderbolt 47 at times has been our resident grump And I know how excited he is. I know how happy he is. And he has no negativity, nothing mean to say tonight. So just for you, Thunderbolt 47, we've gone up Mount 500. We tried to climb the run differential mountain. Damon, do we have it? Is it ready?
I really hope this works.
Let's. Winnings regardless of your wager's outcome. I gave you guys my parlay before the game, and I, even though was wrong on it, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine because the Diamondbacks won, and this is what emotional hedging done. I don't care about that $10 I lost anymore because I absolutely. Oh, we're muted?
No, you're good.
Oh, we're good. Okay. Sorry about that. I absolutely am okay with losing that money. And this is the beautiful part about betting on sports when you bet against your team. Your team either wins or, you know what, you won some money. But either way, you cover all the bases.
You bet on your team because my bet that I placed the other day, it was $1.50, but I had a little profit boost. Diamondbacks to win the World Series is feeling a lot better than it did in the moment. I'll tell you that right now. And I guarantee you're not going to get not nearly as good odds on them anymore now that they've advanced and half the field is, four of the teams are gone. So if you think the Diamondbacks are going to win the World Series, put your money where your mouth is.
That's right.
And go to the BetMGM Sportsbook app.
That's right. And if you couldn't hear me, again, I told you that you got to place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through their mobile application of at least $10. You will receive those $200 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. Do so with our code of PHNX. All you got to do is download the app on iOS or Android, or visit betmgm.com and sign up with code PHNX. Again, sign up and deposit at least $10. Place a wager in the amount of at least $10 at standard odds price. And once you have placed a qualifying bet, you will receive $200 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Sign up now and use that bonus code of PHNX. Again, you will receive $200 instantly in additional winnings regardless of your wager's outcome once you place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the mobile application of at least $10. Check out the show notes for full details, and now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
Okay. Well, Chris Bailey wants us to turn the mute back on. Sorry about that. Well, I appreciate, again, you guys for being here in the chat right now. And I do appreciate the Arizona Diamondbacks making this a quick series. 2-game win over the Brewers. Their next game will be Saturday in the National League Division Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. But in the meantime, let's take a look at these numbers from this series. Because Diamondbacks really did a good job here, especially when it comes to that bullpen.
Yeah, that relief pitcher ERA is looking real nice, 0.00. I mean, yeah, that was obviously, especially of game one, the story of this series is the bullpen coming in and shutting it down. And even when they...
And you could say that about tonight, too, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, in both games, there was a guy, in this case, Ginkel, which I know we probably are going to talk about a little more, but...
Yep.
And yesterday it was Ryan Nelson, who weren't good at all. But as Torey said in the postgame yesterday, this is why you have teammates to pick one another up, and that's exactly what Ginkel did last night for Nelson, and that's exactly what Saul Frank did tonight for Ginkel. And so yeah, for them to have a 0.00 ERA is for relief pitchers is crazy. And they won the home run battle. The offense came back alive.
They did.
So it's just all around just a great series for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and when you talk about that bullpen, Ryan Thompson once again pitched tonight. He was incredible. He went one inning scoreless, no hits, struck out 1. Kevin Ginkel, though, he was the surprise tonight. I think that if there was one thing tonight you could question about the win and question about Torey Lovullo's managing, is turning to Kevin Ginkel, when Ginkel really was, he really did throw a lot last night. And I mean, they did have other options. They did turn to Andrew Saalfrank, who came in and went 2/3 scoreless and hitless himself. And I feel like that absolutely was maybe the move. Obviously, it's in hindsight, but it does feel like Ginkel has Torey's respect, right? Yeah. And Torey wants to go to Ginkel, and he wants to use him as much as possible, because I don't even know if he trusts Paul Sewald as much as he trusts Kevin Ginkel. Yeah, I mean, you feel like he does because he's the closer. But
yeah, but I mean, yesterday he had him go, 2 innings pitched, and then obviously brought him back out tonight, which I think was a terrible decision. But as Brute Squad saying in the chat, like, the good thing is that he had a quick hook, and I think obviously you don't have much of a choice in that situation. Like, you can't leave Kevin Ginkel in there. But again, I think the decision to go to Kevin Ginkel was the wrong one. We talked about that specifically yesterday. We didn't expect him to pitch again because of his track record of not being good when he gets overused, and he pitched a lot yesterday. But again, it's why you have teammates. It's why Saalfrank wasn't ready, or Saalfrank wasn't used yet, right? Yeah. Because he was ready there. And all right, Mac, are you just over there skiing?
They're listening to that in the locker room.
Okay, fair enough. Ski. I was just like, Mac's over there just talking to her. So what's going on?
Like we're not doing a show over here.
No, you can ski all you want. I'm about that. Ski. But no, it is like, to have Saalfrank come in there and shut this shit down, and then obviously, Sewald came in and closed it out in classic Sewald fashion. Yeah. Hit the first pitcher, batter, and let another guy get on base. But shut it down nonetheless. It was just, I mean, that's what makes teams dangerous in the playoffs. Like he said, we're fucking dangerous. Because this team is like, where do you beat them? Where's the weakness? It's hard to find one.
I really don't know. And they are dangerous, right? So it's like, I really do. I really do appreciate the fact that they feel like they can, they can do this.
They believe in themselves.
They feel dangerous,
and that's
right?
Again, I think we kind of talked about this earlier. Like, that what makes the team so dangerous is that not only do they think they're dangerous, but no one else does. Like, no one believes in this team, so they're a dangerous team that people don't believe in. Yeah. And when you add what is already a good baseball team, and you add on top of that, like, the underdog mentality. Oh boy, like, they're fucking dangerous. I'll keep saying it.
They're dangerous, and there's one thing that I keep coming back to, and that was a Chris Garagiola analogy that he had when he was talking about how some of the like Cattell and some of the more dangerous players who are who tend to wear colorful clothing or colorful accessories, right? They remind him of those animals in the wild that you should mess with, and that they have specifically the bright colors to scare you away.
A slight aside, I was in Disney. The first time I ever went to Disney World was at Blizzard Beach in the lazy river, and there was a snake just that was in the lazy river swimming. And we go to one of the lifeguards, and he's like, "Hey," we're like, "Hey, there's a snake in here," and he's like, "What color is it?" We were like, "Yellow and black," and he's like, "Oh boy." That's not supposed to be there. Yeah, that's how I feel about every time you see someone with some neon pink shit, and you're like, "Oh boy, I'm scared."
That's a golden poison dart frog. You're lucky you made it out of there with your life.
Scared.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this was just such a good team win, and again, the contributions came from everybody, and they also, they picked each other up. You brought the picking each other up thing. Yeah. The fact that when we when we have these situations where a guy is struggling, someone else comes around and picks him up. It happens with the bullpen, especially lately. But you brought up Christian Walker, and Christian Walker hasn't been playing his best baseball. He had a huge hit yesterday that really separated the Diamondbacks from the Brewers and gave him some breathing room. But I think we have video from Christian Walker in the clubhouse celebrating and talking a bit about rebounding himself.
Christian Dixon Walker.
Yeah, I've heard guys talk about that last week, that last stretch, especially when you're in the race. It's you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. I want to be a big part of this team and a big part of the wins, and sometimes that gets you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And I think a series like this, it's the stats are done, the regular season's done, we're in. Everything is about winning, and it's just easy to put the team first.
we were having a hard time listening to him because we were dancing and shit.
Single thing
not
said.
a word.
Who gives a shit? We're going to the NLDS.
Fucking yachts, yo. But speaking of the yachts, let's take a look at the bracket for the postseason because things have worked their way out.
None of the wild card teams lost put up much of a fight.
Yep, it's a bunch of sweeps in this round. The Rangers advance over the Tampa Bay Rays. The Twins advance over the Blue Jays. The Diamondbacks advance over the Brewers and the Phillies. Which, my God,
7-1 today.
Can I just say how wrong I was about wanting to play the Phillies in the first round? Because that is an atmosphere up there. That is a very scary place to play baseball. That is a very scary team to play baseball against.
You were very wrong, and
wrong.
I mean, I already admitted my fault in saying that I wanted Zach Davies to start over Brendan Pfaadt.
That's very true. You did say those words.
Although, to be fair,
I
don't know that it would have ultimately been that different. Like, it's not like Brendan Pfaadt pitched deep into the game or anything. But that's neither here nor there.
But because it was a bullpen that mostly did it. in game one.
You were definitely wrong in saying that the Philadelphia Phillies were the better opponent.
Revisit that so much.
I mean, that's kind of the topic of conversation right now. Is that not
fairly hard? I don't know. You're hitting that. You're hitting that I was wrong part very hard. I felt like we were.
After I spent 2 minutes talking about how I was wrong. But no. If you saw that Phillies atmosphere, if you saw what the Marlins were going through, that's not a great team. And obviously, if we end up having to play them, it will be a Phillies team that has just beat the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, it's like HK or in the NLCS at that point. But not to get too ahead of ourselves.
Man, Jacob J on there says reports on Twitter are that he is not in concussion protocol. According to Torey, not much more after that. So at least that's encouraging because obviously concussion protocol would keep him out. We don't know what decision the Diamondbacks would make. The biggest problem with Gabriel Moreno is that the Diamondbacks only have one backup catcher in Jose Herrera. We didn't even know tonight who the emergency catcher would be.
Never mind. Yeah. No.
So if they do anything with him in order to put another catcher on the roster, then he cannot play in the NLDS at all.
That I knew. Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem with trying to replace him.
Can they bring Sebi back?
No, they can't. They can't
do
it.
They can't make someone up from.
They can't make any roster changes,
roster, right?
Yeah, without changing him off of the playoff roster.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if he were to be out, I'm always confused about the roster rules. And if they were to be like he's out for the NLDS, who they're allowed to bring on.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is when it's the approval has to go through the commissioner's office.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so they basically I think have to show that there's an actual injury, so that they're not just trying to maybe bring up some guy that
here's the video.
Yeah, right. But like I think that the main thing is after approval, and then part of it has to be like an actual replacement for that guy. So you're not bringing up a relief pitcher for an outfielder or something like that, right? But I mean, I will say that the you don't want to be with Moreno anytime.
They popped up the graphic. I mean, it's the story with him. Their winning percentage with him is so much better than it is without him.
So wait, hold on, because Glenn here, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but Glenn says that's not true. Catchers that come back from head injuries can come back mid-series. Weird exception. So
yeah, I feel like I heard them talking about that now that he says that. I feel like I heard them talking about that.
Well, and I mean, that was the rules that applied to Jake McCarthy, but maybe with the head injury, like what you're saying, it's different. And if that's the case, I mean, I think the big thing here is that you don't want to mess around with head injuries, so you don't want to leave a guy on a roster simply because he's a good player, and we don't want these to, we don't want it to impact things where you're leaving him dangerously on the roster, right, or playing him.
Thankfully, from the sounds of it,
hopefully
non-issue.
Yeah, it'll be a non-issue, but of course, we're just so excited. We know you guys are too.
So alive.
Damon, did we rectify that situation with Cattell going up the mountain? Now he's chalking up playoff wins is what he's doing. Can we get one more time just because it delights me? Let's fucking go! All right, I just needed to get that one more time. Of course, we have a lot of time here to preview the National League Division Series because it doesn't happen until Saturday.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, the way it lines up for the Arizona Diamondbacks is that Game 1 is Saturday, Game 2 is Monday. I don't really like that at all.
Alexa just went off telling us to a reminder to take out our trash, which sounds like a passive-aggressive attack from Saul if I've ever heard one. We'll clean up.
I definitely feel like that came from Saul.
I know.
I really do. Did he set that specifically to remind us during the show? We see you, Saul Bookman. He had a super chat, by the way. Can we take a look at Saul's super chat really quick, Damon? I know that he threw one up there. We got a lot of them. Saul Bookman super chat, he says, "Don't think I didn't hear ski by Sexy Red." The background of celebration, baby.
We need to get the rights to that song.
Albert says $5 chat, super chat. He says, "Let's fucking go. I'll be there on Wednesday. All y'all better be there Wednesday. Get on board or get out of the way. This wagon don't stop." I love it.
Or get run over.
We're
fucking dangerous.
Czar Nicholas, I don't know.
Czar Nicholas II.
Czar Nicholas II, excuse me, said, "Just move here for Prescott. What's a good price for a decent pair of playoff tickets?"
Anything. Whatever you got to pay. Get in the door.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. I've never been to a playoff game.
I will say that there's a good place to get them over at Game Time.
True.
Try GameTime.co. Get your tickets there.
Code PHNX.
Ryuji Sakamoto says, BTW, F the Brewers fans who were booing Gabby after getting hit. Absolutely.
Yeah,
they're also on Damon's list.
I mean, after. I mean, it was obviously a little bit of a lengthy delay, but when a guy gets hit in the head by a baseball bat, take all the time you need.
Don't worry, they got something coming.
What are we doing here? Thank you, Damon.
I would argue they got what they had coming. They are. I guess a vacation to Cabo is a pretty uneven.
It's not a great punishment. That's like when my mom used to send me to my room with my Nintendo. Like, that's no punishment at all. But we also have
your mom let you did it kept the Nintendo in the room?
In the room.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
My mom would take my PlayStation out and then I would stare at the covers of my video games until she felt bad.
When I heard parents were just taking away the power cord, I was like, that's some next level shit. That's like what you do. Yeah. You let them keep the game system in the room,
or take away the controller.
Take away the power cord and the controller.
Because if you took away the controller, you know what I would have done? I would have turned that shit on and stared at the home screen.
At least just let it run all night. And Piece of Yoshi lastly says, Derek's job is safe for another week. Thank you. I appreciate that. Of course, we appreciate all of you guys. Again, if you haven't gotten yourself a Die Hard membership yet, go out there, go to GoPHNX, grab yourself a Die Hard membership now. Get yourself a free piece of merchandise, including our brand new wagon shirt. Get yourself 20% off all future purchases from the PHNX locker. You get yourself some discounts from our partners. Get a $20 gift certificate or $50 gift certificate from Mountain Mike's Pizza. You get a Dobson Ranch card. Again, all sorts of free benefits from our partners, all sorts of discounts on events and merchandise, members exclusive merch, Discord, all of that stuff. So sign up today over at gophnx.com and get yourself that wagon shirt. Of course, if you already are a diehard, go grab yourself that wagon shirt, 20% off. And let's support this team and let's fucking party. Like I hear Torey still saying over there. Of course, another great way to celebrate is to go to our friends Pins and Aces, which is the official golf apparel partner of PHNX in ALLCITY. Check out all the amazing stuff they have to offer. They have amazing polo shirts that honestly aren't just for the golf course. They're for any day. They're light. They're airy. They're stretchy. They're comfortable. They're amazing.
I was just wearing. I have Pins and Aces kind of hooded golf shirt. I don't know. It's like a stretchy material, but it's got a hood on it.
It's like a performance hoodie.
Yeah,
I was
just wearing it around lazy Sunday. Yeah, it was a great
yeah. It's so good to get performance wear, but not actually do anything in it. Not actually be active at all. But you can get all of this stuff at pinsandaces.com. It's a family-owned golf and apparel business. And again, they make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite thing, the beer sleeve, which again, not just for the golf course, it's just for any day. But check out pinsandaces.com and use code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. Of course, I will be stopping on the way home to celebrate at Circle K.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is where I stop to serve.
We deserve Polar Pops. Bro.
We all deserve Polar Pops. We all deserve to party with Polar Pops. And the one over here on 7th Street, they give me some weird looks when I go in there and just start screaming, "Let's fucking go." And we're a wagon and we can't stop us. It's odd, but they also get a lot of odd behavior in there just normally. So I think they just kind of look past it.
It's downtown Phoenix.
It is downtown Phoenix, but I will say that I still get my buy 5 get 6 free on every selection of Circle K products.
The thing I love about that Circle K is that they have half and half Arnold Palmer on tap, on the pump.
Yeah, that's what we need in here. Forget the Polar Pop machine. Just give
literally
me that.
Because we got a place down a little convenience store downstairs, and I get in an iced tea every day.
Yeah.
They had a Circle K right downstairs, dog.
Yeah, forget about it. It'd be over. Also, I could use a gas station here in our building because I'm tired. Even though it's just right across the street, I'm tired of driving over there to get gas.
That's the one thing that like I am very fortunate about because I am definitely, I've said this multiple times, that the kind of person like I'll be like if I were to leave work right now and the gas light was on, like I'm going home and I'll get the gas tomorrow. But I'm also like never on time to things, or I'm on time to things, but it's always like just on time to things. And so that I'm in the morning and I'm like, so thankfully I never have to like divert my path.
Yeah,
because I quite literally like I'll pass 1, 2, I think I passed 5 Circle K's on the 10-minute ride.
I was going to say, you don't even live 10 minutes away. It's wild.
I live on Indian School.
That's
like
wild.
There's one on Indian School on 16th. There's like 3 that I passed down 16th. There's obviously the one on Roosevelt and 7th.
Yeah.
Like they're all over the place.
And one thing I noticed was Circle K gas last night was cheaper than Costco gas, which is already a discounted gas price, but you have to wait in an absurd, ridiculous line in order to get it there.
Circle K.
No, and then if you sign up for their Inner Circle program by downloading the Circle K app for free,
cheaper, dog.
You'll get 25 cents off per gallon your first 5 fill-ups. So what are you waiting for? Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
It looks like the boys are just kind of having a moment in the chat.
Yeah, what is happening? Because I feel like there's a lot of love in here. There's a lot of love for bees.
Why wouldn't there be?
It's a lot of like look each other in the eyes and be like, "You're my dog."
Yeah,
We're gonna go to war together.
You guys are all my dogs. All of you.
Rudy said the best seeds collection is okay. What's your favorite seeds flavor?
Oh,
there's a right
ranch.
answer in my. Yeah, thank you.
Ranch
goes insane.
I mean,
this Damon seems like he has a take on this.
I think a solid dill pickle is always hit.
I will say I as a youngin was anti pickle flavored things. I've definitely come around, but like the idea of something that wasn't a pickle being pickle flavored freaked me out. I've come around now. But ranch just goes, dog. It
just goes. I also want to give a shout out to, we got some more super chats, I think, that I missed. Alt Text ZZ says, one of my coworkers is a Brewers fan. Oh boy, the next time I see him is going to be real fun. Calling it even since he's also a Bucks fan. Yes,
and also
the Diamondbacks got revenge for the Suns as well.
Alt Text is also just in like he lives in St. Louis.
Yeah,
so he's just gonna like, haha. Redbirds, losers. This is what a real baseball team looks like. This is what a real catcher looks like.
That's right.
Now that you know anything about that.
That is right. And then our other super chat comes from Chris Bailey. He said, started listening to y'all this season. Thank you for making this super fun, even in July, to be a D-back fan in New Hampshire. Wagon. Let's go, Chris.
Appreciate you, Chris.
I love it.
I want to shout out Nico, because I know he listens. Kid that DM'd me on Instagram that started listening to us in Colorado. He's along for the ride.
Man, I'll tell you, we've met so many wonderful people that listen to the show. And like, to me, I'll tell you, I've had people, I had someone say that they didn't know how to approach me, as if I'm unapproachable. In what world? I will hug mustache? You. I will, maybe this mustache. It's a bit off-putting, but I want to say that from a personal experience, every time we've met one of you guys, every time someone's come up to us at the ballpark or randomly anywhere, I mean, our very own Espo was in Carlsbad, California today, and somebody saw him wearing an Espo PHNX hat and went up to him and told him that he listens to us, the Diamondback show, and that he's a big fan. Yeah. Like, that's just I can never hear that enough, because that is what definitely makes
when we were at the game last Friday, the Astros game, they were doing that garage sale up top there. Yeah. And one of the employees that was like directing the line, I like walked up there to go buy my stuff, and he's like, "Are you on that podcast?" And he started like thanking me. And I was just like, "What are you like?"
We thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for making this fun for us. Thank the Diamondbacks for being a wagon this season and making this fun, because I don't think we knew we'd get here. Right? This was a wild season, and at times, much like you're discussing there, July was the dark times that we didn't know if we would get through it. But we appreciate you guys for being here, and we're just excited to see what happens now. I mean, how far can we go with this? How far can the Diamondbacks go? One thing that we do need to discuss, obviously, is the fact that Merrill Kelly.
I thought you were going to be like, we need to discuss your grittying.
No, we need to discuss David's gritty. David was just hitting the gritty without even moving his feet. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen a human being do. It was awesome.
It was fire.
It was fire. And of course, that's the kind of celebrating that we do around here. Merrill Kelly, though.
Don't say that that I don't do all that. That's not me.
Yeah, he does. He actually
but Merrill Kelly.
But Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly will get the start for the Diamondbacks most likely in game 1 against the Dodgers. I mean, most likely. I mean, he will, right? And I don't think that there is a potential better outcome for the Diamondbacks than this, as far as this entire scenario with their starting rotation, the entire kind of mess that we're in right now, as far as the starting pitching goes, this is the best possible outcome.
Which is crazy to say because we're talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers, but it is certainly a better outcome than the Braves, I'd say. And I don't know, it's obviously like super complicated, and I'm going to be very anxious going into this series because obviously going into any series you don't really know what you're going to get. But in this series particularly, it's like, okay, are you going to get the Dodgers that own the Arizona Diamondbacks? Or alternatively, are you going to get the Arizona Diamondbacks that are owned by the Dodgers? Or are you going to get the Dodgers that suck in the playoffs and always choke? Obviously, very much hoping for the latter.
Yeah.
Because again, the only time they've actually accomplished their goal of winning a World Series, despite all the money and all the wins, has been a shortened season. Outside of that, they never finished the job. So I'm very much hoping that we get that form of the Dodgers who just can't get the job done.
You never know. You never know with this layoff and with everything that they've gone through. They're relying on some rookie pitchers in order for them to get through. They're relying on, they don't have the normal studs that they've had in the past. So I feel like this is very much a different situation from any Dodgers team we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and say, oh, they're they've choked in the past, they're going to do that again. But I also don't think this is the juggernaut that they even were at one point during this very season.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, anything's possible, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we're fucking dangerous.
I'm with you on
We're
that.
fucking dangerous.
I'll tell you another guy that believes is Mike Hazen, and we got some more videos from the clubhouse of Mike Hazen talking about this big win for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I've seen him. He looks okay now, but the evaluation was he seemed to be doing okay. Obviously, they made the right call in taking him out of the game because we're never going to, put that at any risk. But they're still going to evaluate overnight into the morning, and then we'll see how it is from there.
That was Mike discussing Gabriel Moreno.
Again, not listening to what he said. I'm just happy to see Mike Hazen wet for the second time in a week.
That's wild, right?
Yeah,
it's a fun feeling.
That part is crazy. Like I don't know why it really hit me with Mike Hazen.
Yeah,
but I was just like, oh, they were just celebrating the other day, and now they're doing it again. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as what he said at Gabby, like, it's just I guess a waiting game at this point.
And I mean, it's the result tonight was fine without him, but he's not a guy that you want to be without. We've talked about the Diamondbacks and their production without Gabby Moreno. So that definitely impacts his team negatively when he's not a part of the lineup. We talked tonight about some of Jose Herrera's pitch framing and other things outside of just the production. So it's not just it's not just his offense that he brings. It's also what he does behind the plate. We know how much, Zac Gallen, for instance, talked about him and everything. So it's a huge loss for him to not be, available for this team.
And no, it certainly in the moment was like, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like he is the heart and soul of this team. Like
he's Mr. Diamondback.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Diamondback.
It really felt bad, but I mean, also is a little bit like, let's do it for Gabby kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, obviously it's sounding like it's like obviously it's not so bad that it's a clear like he's not going to be playing, right? At least it seems like there's a chance. So that's comforting.
Well, I have a guy that knows a little bit more about this situation.
And it's also very comforting to me.
It is. Just like ESPN, we also have a guy that we go to named Jesse for all of our information. It's the one and only Jesse Friedman coming to us live from Milwaukee. Jesse, obviously, this is an exciting win. Of course, we are much more subdued now than we were before you joined us. There was screaming, there was cursing, all that stuff that we normally do.
Most of the cursing was coming from Torey.
Yeah, most of the cursing was coming from Torey, in fact. So I don't know if he's going to get us in trouble with Saul. But
yeah, well, I mean, we can't go. We've already wasted too much time in this interview. Jesse, why are you so dry?
So I did get wet tonight. I want to make that abundantly clear. I did not come out of the clubhouse entirely dry, but it turns out that, the interview process after something like this takes forever. So that happened probably about an hour ago at this point. So I've since dried off. I didn't get drenched or anything. I'm not going to make it sound like I was completely drenched and now suddenly I'm just totally dry. But Merrill Kelly was hellbent on making sure the media were involved in the celebrations, at least in terms of getting wet tonight. So I was not immune to that.
I mean, I think we need photo evidence next time.
Yeah, we need video of you getting soaked by Merrill Kelly for sure. But the big thing on everybody's mind, besides the win and besides advancing to the NLDS to face the Dodgers, how's Gabby Moreno?
Yeah, we don't have a super full explanation on that just yet. What we do know, I talked to Mike Hazen a little bit about it after this was over, which I think you guys just played. You just saw what he had to say. It appears as of right now that things are trending in a positive direction, but it also sounds like tests are still being done. So I don't think the book is really closed here. Tests are still being done, is my understanding. And so far from what Mike Hazen said and what I've heard from others, it doesn't look like the Diamondbacks are planning to put Gabby Moreno on the concussion IL at this point. But I don't think we can rule that out. So it's kind of an incomplete answer as of right now, at least from what I was able to gather tonight.
Fingers crossed.
Obviously, a big we know everything else that happened tonight. A lot of excitement. The bullpen came through for this team. No runs allowed by the bullpen in this series. How huge is that? I mean, it still seems unbelievable to us, Jesse, that this pen has become this team's strength after it being its Achilles heel for at least 50% of this season, it seemed like.
It's an unbelievable turnaround. I mean, there's no other way to describe it than that. The Diamondbacks, I believe, had the second best bullpen ERA in the month of September. It was a really big reason why they finished the way they did. It wasn't really because of the offense. It was really because of the bullpen and what they were able to accomplish. I talked with Andrew Saalfrank just a few moments ago about, he entered in one of the highest leverage, probably the highest leverage moment in this game. Right, bases loaded, 1 out. He was in a really tough spot. And he came through. He was able to get the last 2 outs of that inning and was unfazed. So, I asked him, you were called up from the minors literally a month ago today. He was called up September 4th is when the Diamondbacks brought Andrew Saalfrank from the minors to the majors. It is October 4th, and he is now and has been for multiple weeks the guy, the left-handed reliever, when the Diamondbacks really need a guy like that late in games. And I asked him, did you expect to have this kind of a role this soon into your major league career? And he said, no, of course not. Like, this is not normal. You don't normally call guys up and then instantly plug them into, in this game, the highest leverage situation that any reliever was in. And yet he came through, and he's come through a number of times. Ryan Thompson had another clean 1-2-3 inning. I spoke with him as well. And what it really sounds like with both of those guys, and this is my main topic in my story tonight, is the confidence that they've received just from the Diamondbacks' belief in them. Just the fact that the Diamondbacks have gotten them and have said, we believe in you in these spots. We're going to put you right into the thick of things. We're not going to try to really ease you in. We're going to put you right in the middle of some of the most intense situations in these games. And to this day, I mean, including the postseason now, Saalfrank and Thompson have given up a combined 1 earned run at this point in their careers. That's covering about 25 innings at this point. It's incredible what they've been able to do.
Jesse, were you as surprised as we were that they turned to Kevin Ginkel tonight?
I wasn't surprised. I think we talked about it yesterday that, if you're in position to win the game, you're probably gonna just be aggressive and use your best guys. And Kevin Ginkel has been that guy for the D-backs this season. He didn't look sharp tonight, obviously. He faced 4 batters. 3 of them reached his velocity, was down considerably with the first few pitches he threw. Kind of ticked up after that. I think there were some 95s and 96s, at least with the 4-seamer. But yeah, I mean, it was a bold move for sure on Torey's part to turn to him. And I do think, obviously, it worked out because Saalfrank was able to come in and sort of clean up the mess. But I do think moving forward in that LA series, that's something that Torey might have to be a little bit more careful about, just knowing there's a little bit of history at this point with Ginkel, on back-to-backs, especially when on the first day of those back-to-backs, he's throwing a lot of pitches. the results haven't been great. So I have to believe that's something the Diamondbacks will be more cautious about moving forward.
Speaking of guys that have been absolute studs on the mound for this team, we have video here from you, from Zac Gallen, talking about his night on the mound.
Honestly, felt really good. That's probably, and I've been saying it, I'm getting closer and closer, and even the first inning I felt really good. Ball was coming out of my hand, maybe a little too hard. Just tried to settle in, really. After the first, I came into Torey and said, listen, you give me 110, I'll give you 7. I said, all right, sounds good. So I lied in that sense, but yeah, just tried to settle in. You know, when you're playing on the road, you got to try and stop momentum the best way you can. So I just tried to give us a chance to win, keep us in the game, really. Let the offense do, you know, what they
He did it, and I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to be okay with his performance, obviously, especially in a big game like this. But you could tell that Zac didn't have his best stuff tonight, and even when he doesn't, he's still very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, he said he felt good coming into the start. That was almost a surprise. We're used to seeing Gallen be like, "Yeah, I didn't really have my best stuff coming in," and it was just kind of a grinder of a game. He said he felt good. He called it mechanical things in that first inning. He didn't get into, too much of specifics. I'm not sure exactly what it was. He obviously wasn't himself. He threw 32 pitches in the first inning. That was the second most he's ever thrown in his big league career in the first inning of a game. Oddly enough, the only time in his career that he's thrown more pitches in the first inning was also against the Milwaukee Brewers. It happened last October. He threw 36 pitches in the first inning against the Brewers, and I believe that was one of the Diamondbacks' final games of the year. But yeah, I mean, he was able to settle down in remarkable fashion, right? It was 32 pitches in a really rough first inning, and then it was 5 scoreless innings after that on 68 pitches. Just remarkable the way he was able to turn things around and, do what the Diamondbacks really need him to do the rest of the way, which is navigate some of those difficult moments in the playoffs and, find a way to come through and give your team a chance to win. And he absolutely did that.
He also discussed facing the Dodgers in the next round. What did he have to say about that, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, he said it's no secret that the Dodgers have sort of had the Diamondbacks number, right? I think that's sort of well documented at this point.
Nobody can argue with that. I don't think so, but we do have the video here. We have more from Gallen on facing the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opponent we're familiar with. It's a place we're familiar with. It's a good team. We've played in that environment with the crowds. They're packing the place out, so it'll be interesting to see, the playoff atmosphere. But I think we're excited. For us, I mean, if you're scared, stay home. That's kind of what we thought about. So, we're excited.
Man, this is fun. This is fun, and I'm excited.
That's a pretty good quote right there, right? If you're scared, just go home. That's
if you're
scared,
I think home. If you're scared, don't even get on the
Put
field.
that on the shirt too. We're fucking dangerous, and if you're scared, just go home.
Yeah, just go home. We're making new shirts tonight, Jesse. By the way, in case you didn't notice, we are coming up with all sorts of phrases, including Torey's potty mouth speech from the clubhouse. We're putting that on the shirt as well.
Yeah, I don't that there might not be much of a market for a shirt with that level of profanity.
Whoa, we have a shirt that says maybe we're just fucking better.
Yeah.
We're fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think there was only one F-bomb in that speech. I think there were a few.
Fair. That's fair.
So yeah, but anyway, I mean, this is a kind of a defining moment for this iteration of this Diamondbacks team, and it's a time where this team, I think, has a chance to form a bit of a national identity, right? This game, the D-backs were sort of relegated to ESPN2 in this series. They weren't on big ESPN. They were on ESPN2. But, they're getting some national attention here. There's some national spotlight that comes with a postseason run, obviously, and especially sweeping a very good team like the Milwaukee Brewers here in the first round. Corbin Carroll had just an outstanding 2-game series. I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers specifically. I think he reached in more than half of his plate appearances. Brewers just didn't really have an answer for Corbin Carroll in this series. Ketel Marte obviously had some really big moments as well. Gabriel Moreno, for the D-backs, hopefully he's able to come out and wind up healthy. And he did say, I guess another thing I should mention about Moreno, he did say personally himself that he expects to play in the series against the Dodgers. So I mean, you can't necessarily take that as gospel coming from the player himself,
Sure.
but I think it is telling on some level that it seems like that's very much within the realm of possibility.
Well, we have more from the clubhouse, including here was the video I was referencing earlier where Mike Hazen gave his overall thoughts on this victory.
We hadn't won a series yet since we've been here, so cross that off the list. Come back twice in these games. I think we showed a lot of toughness. Bullpen is clicking pretty good right now. I can't believe what Saul Frank did coming out of the pen, his first appearance. Perdomo walking to start that whole entire process off. Herrera coming in and saving us with Gabby. So many things that happened. Of course, Gallen, after the first inning, I mean, vintage Gallen. So, look, we're in a good spot. I know we have a long road ahead of us. It just keeps getting tougher and longer. But this is fun. This is what we do this for.
Hell yeah, it is fun.
This is what we do this for.
This is what we do this for. This is what we do this for. Nights like this, but we're gonna go ahead and accept their accomplishments and we're gonna go fucking crazy too here. But Jesse, what are your thoughts here on how, of course, Merrill Kelly being saved from pitching in Game 3 now lines things up for the Diamondbacks, and how big is this for the starting rotation that they can have Merrill Kelly start in Game 1 in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean, not only can they have Merrill Kelly start Game 1, they can have Zac Gallen start Game 2 with how things line up. It's kind of an odd schedule. They have, even though
day off in between.
Yeah, even though the first 2 games of that series are in LA, Sunday is an off day. So Game 2 would be on Monday, Game 1 being on Saturday, and Monday, of course, is 5 days from today. So Zac Gallen could pitch on normal rest in Game 2. Game 3, the D-backs are going to have to figure, something else out, whether it be a bullpen day, Brandon Pfaadt, whatever that looks like. But I believe they can have, theoretically, Gallen or Kelly pitch in 4 out of the 5 games. I need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And that's big for the D-backs. Those guys haven't necessarily pitched great against the Dodgers, especially Merrill Kelly does not have a good track record against that team. But if you're the Diamondbacks, I mean, those are the 2 pitchers that you're going to live and die by. If Merrill Kelly can't get it done against the Dodgers, then Merrill Kelly can't get it done against the Dodgers, and you're just going to have to live with that. There aren't really other guys you would rather put in that position. So, yeah, things line up really well for the Diamondbacks because they were able to finish this thing in 2 games.
Oh, they could just sweep their way through the playoffs, and they'll never have to really worry about the pitching situation.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Why not? What's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? I don't know. It seems like a flawless plan, but Merrill Kelly is starting that game, and Merrill Kelly did talk to Jesse here after he got himself soaked in champagne, just about playing this Dodgers team and what this means for the Diamondbacks.
But I think that's kind of been our MO all year. I don't think anybody at the beginning of the year predicted that we'd come even close to this. There's probably a lot of guys that didn't think we were a playoff team in general. So the fact that we're here, it just kind of touches on how good of a group we have. We're scrappy, we run, we put pressure on teams. We can pitch pretty well too. So at this point in the game, it's anybody's game. You guys have seen crazy stuff in the playoffs. I've seen crazy stuff in the playoffs. So obviously, don't count us out. We're here. So
we're
right. Fucking here
because nobody that ever is supposed to perform like that they should performs that way in the playoffs.
Yeah.
People that are great shut down. People that you've never heard of become heroes. That's what's so exciting about this time of the year.
You're gonna go on like a. It's not when you say people you never heard of become heroes. I thought you were about to go on like a monologue.
What, like a whole a speech?
Like I was getting ready. I was like, let's fucking go.
It's true.
I'll run through a wall no matter how
every year. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't matter what substance the wall is. We fucking run through it. But I will say that this really does feel like one of those years where the Diamondbacks have nothing to lose, right? And we know this team has not played well under the pressure. But when they have nothing to lose, when the pressure's off, when all bets are off, this team is a wild team. And I mean, they can beat anybody. We've seen them at times lose when they should win, and we've absolutely seen them win when they should lose. So I don't know what to expect out of this playoff run, but I think that the entire embrace the chaos nature of this team and everything that's going on is like real. Like, yeah. Even like he said, like the whole idea of being scrappy, the fact that we run, the fact that we create runs, the fact that they do all this stuff, it just, I mean, this team really does feel like something special is starting to brew here.
Yeah, no, it really does. Like, I mean, I feel like every coach talks about culture and all that kind of stuff in any sport. But like, not always does it actually like sink in, get roots.
Yeah.
And it really does like feel like it has here. Like it feels like, I mean, they're talking about it on the broadcast when Gabby got hurt. Like Torey's the kind of guy that really feels like he looked like he was a dad concerned about his son in that moment. Like,
he always does.
It's just
the eye test he does when someone gets injured, when they tell him he's fine, but he look me in the eye and make sure that you're okay.
It's just like it very much feels like a family, and like there is like a real defined culture that in part is Torey, but is also part like the chaos and the youth and all that stuff. And it does kind of like what Jesse had mentioned earlier. Like I'm very just excited for like them to kind of announce that culture, that identity on a national scale, because I don't think a whole lot of people realize, but they're going to.
I will also say, Jesse, you have some more traveling to do because
I do. I have to book a flight. I'm supposed to be out of my Airbnb tomorrow at like 10 a.m. and I currently don't have anywhere to go.
I have no idea where you're even going.
I'll be able to find time to figure out what exactly I'm doing after this.
Do we get Jesse content on the beach again?
I mean, I was thinking of walking, Lake Michigan briefly before I head out of town. Does that count? I think they might have some sand somewhere.
Do not disrespect the Great Lakes like this.
No.
The largest freshbody lakes in the world, I think.
Jesse, disrespect all the lakes.
No, the Great Lakes are different.
Sorry. Look, Lake Michigan is no Pacific Ocean.
Look,
it's
not
on the same
I didn't
plane
say all
field.
that, but you're acting like it's a little pond. We got beaches on the Great Lakes.
Jesse, the world's largest Culver's is in Wisconsin, so that would be a great place for you to go.
The world's largest fresh body lakes. Go into the world's largest Culver's.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna send you somewhere. We're gonna make sure you get food and water, because I'm worried about you, and I'm worried you're not drinking enough water. But there's talk about the Diamondbacks beating the Dodgers, and that's that being crazy. I don't think it's that crazy, if I'm being honest. I think that the Dodgers have a lot of things working against them, and I think that the Diamondbacks are in a fucking groove right now. I think the Diamondbacks are it's those teams in the playoffs that never really stop, that you wonder when are they going to get exhausted, when are they going to get tired, never, because this team is young.
Last year.
The Phillies last year, like just that team that never stops. Never stops. Literally never stops.
It might also be the Phillies again this year. The Phillies are rolling.
Yeah, Jesse, I confess I was wrong about wanting to face the Phillies in the wild card round, and I see the errors of my ways now. All right.
Yeah, the Phillies. I don't. Do we know what the final score was in
7-1
Phillies Marlins?
Well, we don't know. Yeah, we started doing the show.
No,
So
it was 7-1.
Was it 7-1?
Finished 7-1.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean the Phillies. I mean, who knows what would have happened if the Diamondbacks had played the Phillies? I mean, maybe the D-backs would have performed similarly. Who's to say? But yeah, I mean, it always kind of seemed like that stage, like I think that's a pretty brutal place to play on the road. Not to say it wasn't loud here in Milwaukee. The fans here were absolutely getting into it. But yeah, I mean, there's just a level of star power on that Phillies team and in that lineup in particular that I think it's just on a different level. It's obviously on a different level than what Milwaukee has in their lineup. They've had some guys who were hot toward the end of the season. We talked about how the Brewers really picked things up offensively in the second half. But at the end of the day, I mean, Christian Yelich and William Contreras, like these are good hitters, but Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, like just the depth in that Phillies lineup compared to the depth of this Brewers lineup, there just isn't much of a comparison. And when Mike Farron was on this show a couple weeks ago and talked about how it's easier for a really good starting pitcher to have an off night than for an entire offense that's really good, to just go silent. I think those seem to be very wise words. Corbin Burns was not at all himself in the game yesterday. Freddie Peralta had a no-hitter going in this game up through the fifth inning or into the fifth inning. But then Alek Thomas hit a home run, and the D-backs were really able to get to him in the sixth inning. So, guys who are really good starting pitchers, if you have come in with a good game plan and, pitching in the playoffs is different than pitching in the regular season. And D-backs were able to get the best of both of those guys.
4 earned runs on 2 of the best starters in baseball in the postseason. That's an impressive feat by this offense. Jesse, we appreciate your time. We are going to be worried about you until you get home safe. If you stay on the road, I am never going to get any sleep. But we thank you so much for coming to us from Milwaukee, and we look forward to having you in Los Angeles covering this series against the Dodgers.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys.
All right. Make sure to follow Jesse at Jesse N. Friedman on Twitter. And make sure to read all of his wonderful stuff. Jesse is putting in some incredible work, not only to bring us all of this information, all of this footage that he's sending in, but he's also been writing some incredible pieces on this team during this playoff run. So do not miss that over at gophnx.com. Of course, the future is so bright for this team right now that they should all get themselves a pair of Shady Rays sunglasses, and so should you. It's a premium polarized sunglass. It's built to last. It's an independent sunglass company with a world-class product that's not nearly as expensive as the other sunglass companies out there. It's also backed by the most insane lost and broken replacement plan in all of eyewear. They told us if you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked, no judgment, no shame heaped upon you, just a new pair of sunglasses sent out to you directly. They also will have your back long after you purchase if you want to exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days of purchase. You can shop their entire collection at their Kierland Commons location. It's a full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. We are celebrating tonight. I am celebrating at least tonight with Rattle On Red Ales,
baby.
the official craft beer of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it is from our friends at Four Peaks. You can try all of their wonderful beers, including that absolute classic, the Kilt Lifter, my favorite, the Wow Joy Bus, Wow Wheat, and so many more. Whether we win or lose, we booze from Four Peaks. It's pumpkin porter season, by the way, so make sure to check out that.
We got some in the fridge.
Wonderful. We do have some in the fridge in bottles. I love a good bottle beer. I love a good pumpkin porter. And of course, it's back on the shelves and in draft lines throughout the valley. So make sure to not miss out on pumpkin porter season. It'll be gone before you know it.
It will.
It will.
I remember distinctly going to, not that this is pumpkin porter, but similarly, same season, French onion soup at the 8th Street Pub. But I remember going up, pulling up there one time and being like, "Hey, can I get some French onion soup?" And I'm like, "No,
because we don't have that anymore.
It's gone.
That time of year is over."
Yeah. It was like shit.
Your time is up. My time is
faster
now.
than I thought.
Yeah. You can visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all of your favorite brewery tours and events, including Stein Holding, Oktoberfest, and their haunted brewery tours. Of course, the ghosts do make the beer at the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub, so do not miss out on checking that out. You can check out Four Peaks Brewer at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest Arizona's hometown brewery. Must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. This was a major achievement for the 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks. And of course, we have a lot of Dodgers fans coming in here. So this is just the beginning. We know we welcome you guys.
Some better than others.
We're here to talk shit, and we are here to say good game afterwards. But I did see a Dodger fan earlier on saying that, best of luck, best, good,
well,
good
Mando
series.
here is saying good. And they're saying if the Dodgers beat Kelly, they will win the series.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
probably. Honestly, probably true.
That's probably a fairly accurate assessment.
Mando's being very, very respectful despite having a Shohei and Dodgers thing that makes me sick every time I see it. And then SoCal is just out here being a troll. But I love trolls so much.
You guys are awesome. You guys are all awesome. Whether you're here to troll us or just here to hang out and enjoy the wagon. Mitch Fleet gave us a super chase, and not only are we a wagon, we're America's team. Hell yeah, we are.
We are America's team. We're the team of destiny.
I'm just gonna call you BM. BM says the irony of mentioning that unexpected guy being NLCS MVP was that Council was that guy in 2001. Yeah, there we go.
David, I said comrade, and then David started losing his shit. That made me
Two Kids 268. Thank you for the super chat. I'll text ZZ says, on top of what Shawn said about me living in St. Louis and what I should do, I can blast STL native Sexy Red and Nelly at the same time. Turn you
and
up.
It's getting high here.
Tanner Rennie, thank you so much for your super chat. Said, just recently discovered PHNX Sports, and I'm wondering why I haven't heard you guys. You're all great. Also, is Seawald a sex symbol after that scream?
I'm very confused. Tanner just discovered us, but also is like all in on the sex symbol list.
Yeah.
Which has me thrown for a fucking
loop. What drew him in.
That's what drew him in.
He's like, oh, we're ranking how sexy men are. Let's fucking get in here.
You get caught up quick around here.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. I don't know. We talked about Paul Seawald having big dad energy this year.
I think he's just ultimate dad.
He's the ultimate dad. The ultimate dad
We might
fighter.
need to start a DILF list.
Yeah, maybe. I'm all board with that. You know who I would add to the Dilf list?
Who?
Torey Lovullo.
Oh, are you kidding me? The president, the leader.
We're watching the video again. Damon, hit us with it one time.
All right. Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, this is part of the journey. We're not there yet. Let's enjoy it. Let's embrace it. Let's fucking party. And a connected team is a fucking dangerous team. We are fucking dangerous. Let's fucking party.
Let's fucking go.
We are fucking dangerous.
We are dangerous. Oh my God. I don't know there's no better way to end this. So I'm just going to end it now. We'll be back here tomorrow with our 1:00 show. It was going to be a pregame and postgame. No need for that anymore. So show up tomorrow for 1:00 show. We'll have more on the preview with the Dodgers and everything else going on with the Diamondbacks. Maybe we'll find where Jesse is. No guarantees on that.
In the world is Jesse and Friedman.
Oh, that went hard.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have nothing more to say other than let's fucking go Diamondbacks. This team is a goddamn wagon.
Man, it's the fucking Yawps.
Oh my God. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter. Get that shirt. You love wagons? You're a wagon aficionado? Get yourself that wagon shirt.
We're fucking dangerous.
Oh,
and if you're scared, go home.
I heard some people are saying that this is the official playoff shirt for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I heard that.
I've heard some people say that it's unofficially.
It's just a rumor that's going
it's
around.
the official one. I feel like we could legally get in some trouble by saying
it's official. Yeah.
So unofficially, it is the unofficial shirt of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
It's the unofficial shirt. But anyway,
what? David?
Apparently, comedy's dead.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know what to tell you,
No, we've learned that. we know.
We've learned that.
Comedy is dead, especially in this circumstance.
We know that. All right. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at @cap_caveman with a K. This maniac is at Shawn_DePaz. Jesse Friedman is at Jesse N. Friedman. He is the adult on the show. Our producer is the people's producer. We are Damon's dogs. You can follow Damon at Damon Dog. That's DAWG. Of course, our show is at PHNX D-backs. But all roads do lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Big shout out to Tanner. Says, saw you guys for the first time yesterday. I was all in on the sex symbol list. Also, let's fucking go.
The sex symbol list got him. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Well,
don't say I never did anything for you.
That's right. Well, I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you guys. I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate this win. We thank you for your time. We thank you for being here. We thank you for being an Arizona Diamondbacks fan. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when you finally realize that a connected team is a dangerous team. Let's fucking go!
We all silly like the mayor.